Marijuana. What is it? Why is it illegal? Why should it be legal? Why do people want it to be illegal? These are all questions that will be answered in my speech about why marijuana should be legal. The main topics I'll be going over are the effects it being illegal has on groups of people and their cultures, the benefits of legalization, and the drawbacks of restriction. Firstly, you need to understand why marijuana is illegal in the first place. In the 1930s, people started using hemp to make rope, and it was a cheaper material to use, it was easier to grow, and it's in the same family as cannabis. And the people that grew cotton and other materials used to make rope didn't want hemp to be legal so they could still be making profits off of their original materials. And in the late 1930s, hemp, along with all cannabis and marijuana products, were made illegal, not only because of the rope industry or the other product industries, but because people wanted a reason to arrest more people that they thought needed to be imprisoned. Even some of our nation's presidents grew hemp before it was illegal. People including James Madison, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, and Thomas Jefferson. They all grew hemp. Some statistics on the racial disparities of marijuana being illegal is we first have to look at who uses it the most. Well, it's actually pretty similar between white and black people. White people and black people white people actually use marijuana more than black people, but this doesn't mean that they're incarcerated equally. In fact, it is 4 times more likely in the entire nation for black people to be arrested for marijuana charges over white people. And another statistic that hits close to home is it is 8.5 times more likely for a black person than a white person to be arrested for marijuana in Iowa. We have the very worst disparity in the whole country for this statistic. Some arguments against the legalization of marijuana would be the fact that it's a gateway drug. And if you don't know, a gateway drug is a slightly milder and less hard substance that if someone uses, it is believed that they will use harder substances that are more harmful and or more addictive. Can you stop it for a second? Okay. Another argument against the legalization of marijuana is the fact that more teens would use it if it was legal. More teens would be able to get a hold of it. Although this may be true, as we can see, in Colorado, 20% of the teen population was able to get a hold of and use some form of marijuana. But the nationwide average, including states where marijuana is completely illegal, the national average for teen use of the substance is 12.29%. It's not a very large difference, and another I'm sorry, can you pause it again? Although this statistic may seem a bit staggering, when compared to alcohol consumption in teenagers, something that is completely legal in all states, there pretty much will be no way to prevent teenagers from getting a substance, whether it is legal or illegal. Some information about teen use of alcohol is that there are 95,000 alcohol-related deaths per year, whereas there are far less deaths that have marijuana tied to them. And there are over 400,000 teenagers with alcohol use disorder who are addicted and regularly abuse alcohol. And when teen alcohol consumption is talked about, so is traffic deaths. Alcohol causes a lot of teen traffic deaths, and marijuana also impairs people's driving. So the statistics for the amount of people that die in alcohol-related traffic deaths is 40% out of all of the traffic deaths in the United States. And 21% of fatal crashes had marijuana involved in some way, shape, or form. And there is a bit of overlap with alcohol and marijuana being involved in crashes because people would be on both substances, but overall, alcohol has a much harsher impact on people and traffic deaths. In Colorado, they reap the benefits of the tax revenue that comes from the marijuana industry. And per year, they receive around $423 million in tax revenue. And this revenue is distributed to healthcare education, law enforcement, rehabilitation and addiction prevention resources, and education. It goes to grants that help improve schools. And Colorado isn't the only state that has some form of legislation that allows a marijuana or cannabis product. This map shows all of the states' current policies on their legalization. So Colorado is not the only state that gets the benefits of tax revenue from this industry. If all of the states completely legalized marijuana, they would all be getting this revenue. And this paired